Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. And I encourage you to continue celebrating this Christmas responsibly. Now, the youth in Nairobi have finally come out in their numbers to respond to Rigathi Gachagua in defense of the Nairobi governor, Johnson Sakaja. For those who are aware that Gachagua has been making a lot of attempt to intimidate the Nairobi governor. It is not only Gachagua. Some of the other gamer politicians have been attacking Gachagua. They have been threatening, not Gachagua. They have been attacking Sakaja, and they have been even going to an extent of threatening Sakaja. But this youth, and remember, most of them are allied to Azimio, so you can look at that. Because Raila has a voice in Nairobi more than any other politicians. And these are the people who are supporting railaodinga. And this is what they are telling Rigathi Gachagua. That he is actually not the product of Mount Kenya region at first place. He is a product of William Samuel Ruto. Because most of the politicians in the Mount Kenya region, when it came to choice of a running mate for William Ruto, they were all against Rigathi Gachagua. All of them voted against him. They were for They were for Kithure Kindiki, but not Rigathi Gachagua. But Ruto forced to have Rigathi Gachagua because of maybe his own interest. Again, they have gone further to dismiss the propaganda that Rigathi Gachagua is trying to propagate. Ya kwamba aliitisha mkutano akakalisha Wakikuyu akawaambia wapigie Sakaja kura. They have openly reminded Rigathi Gachagua how Sakaja was voted into office. According to them, it was not a Kikuyu vote, but it was a vote that was cutting across the board.
Sisi tulikaa kwa msituni. Nani aliambia yeye akae kwa msituni? Sisi tulikaa kwa miwa, Wajaluo sisi na Waluya tulikuwa nakaa kwa miwa. Na sisi tujajisifu na hiyo kukaa kwa miwa yetu. Na hao wakisi pia walikuwa ndani ya ndisi. Sasa kila mtu ako mtoto wa maumau kivi yake. Hii akasagwa kila siku ni mimi ni mtoto wa maumau. Tukofe kwa sababu ni mtoto wa maumau. Na Gachagua anasahau. Gachagua alishindwa kwa election ya watu 200. Na huyu Muturi Kindiki watu 200 akatreta Ruto ya kwamba ujue mimi ni mtoto wa maumau ndarudi kwa msituni ama nipe pesa yangu. Si hivyo ndio treta Ruto. Eti mimi ni mtoto wa maumau narudi kwa maumau ama rudishie pesa ya Ruto akaogopa.
Anauliza nini na Sakaja?
Unaona? Sasa anakuja juu alitreta wakati brother yake alikufa Nyeri. Alitreta yule gavana wa Nyeri alikuwa anampea pesa kuiba. Sasa hiyo kina analeta Nairobi, alafu anakuja kuongoa jinga. Eti gari, eti Wakikuyu wapelekwe pole pole Nairobi. Eti yeye aliweka mkutano na Wakikuyu wachague Sakaja. My friend, Sakaja alipigiwa kura na kabila yote. Unaona? Na hii vita ya Sakaja, si napiga Sakaja. Hii ni vita anapigana na Mudavadi.
Nataka wamtoe.
Hiyo ni vita yake na Mudavadi. Unaona? Na hii juu Sakaja amechukua pia ministers kutoka kwa kila tribe na kutoka kwa kila political party. Unaona? Alafu anasema kwani Wakisi hawana gari? Kwani Waluya hawana gari hapa? Kwani Wajaluo hawana gari? Eti Wakikuyu nayo wapelekwe. Hata wauze mask mpaka juu city ndio tujue sasa Wakikuyu wako Nairobi. Ama wauze dawa ya mende kila mahali mpaka hoteli proto ya Orea ndio tujue Wakikuyu wanafanya kazi. Eti Gachagua anasema mimi ni mtoto wa maumau. My friend, kila mtu ni mtoto wa maumau kivi yake. Kwani kwa watu wasapigana, sisi tuko mpaka na mtu anaitwa Luanda Magere. Hata ukienda unapata mawe. Na tujisifu nayo. Hakuna sina tuko na undeto. Hatujisifu nayo nabii. Sisi tulikuwa mpaka na nene. Haya Waluya wako na simu sinde. Hatujisifu. Wewe unatusinia na koti kubwa inakaa kama Lejo Maria. Mimi ni maumau. Mimi ni maumau. Maumau ndio kusema nini bwana? Mimi nataka niambie Wakikuyu waende watafute kingpin mwingine. Gachagua kukuwa deputy president, kukuwa president Kenya hii ni kama ndoto. Na ni ndoto mchana. Unaona? Eti mtu amekuwa one term MP. Alafu Mungu akamsaidia na ukora na threat. Akakuja akakuwa deputy president. Sasa nataka tu kila mtu aubudi Nairobi nani Sakaja atoe hao watu wote wauze mask huko.
Now, the youth in Nairobi are coming out to defend Governor Sakaja after UDA party went to an extent of writing a letter to Sakaja, summoning him at the UDA office to go and answer to several questions. And this is what the letter was reading, part of the letter. You are hereby summoned before the UDA party disciplinary committee on Friday, December 23 at 9:30 a.m. Just 2 days to Christmas. And this is what the letter was reading. The disciplinary committee of the UDA party is in receipt of various complaints against your infidelity to the party by appointing members of the opposition ODM party at the expense of UDA, a party that sponsored your candidature. That's how the letter read. And of course, Sakaja appeared for that meeting. And after that, of course, they have discussed several issues, and I know he has answered to several questions. What I'm well aware is that there are things they will not convince Sakaja to bend. And that's why you see the youth were coming out to defend Sakaja. That's why you see they come out, tell Gachagua openly about how Sakaja was voted and not the intimidation that he's trying to do on Sakaja. Now we are continuing with this panel discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you're not a subscribe, please consider subscribing. To the returning subscribers, thank you so much, and to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to this discussion. Now, I think what I've been talking about, how Sakaja was voted for in Nairobi, I have been vindicated. Most of the youth you are seeing gathering here, those who are talking as of now, there are people who are 100% supporting railaodinga candidature. But again, they are confirming here that in as much they were supporting railaodinga, most of them were for Sakaja, but not Polycarp Igathe. Because I knew it was going to be very hard for the Azimio supporters to associate easily with the Polycarp Igathe compared to Sakaja. For Sakaja, it is easy for them to reach out to Sakaja because they can easily identify themselves with the Sakaja, and Sakaja can easily identify himself with them. But huko kwingine hapana. Huyu alikuwa tu ni mtu mwenye alikuwa amekuja to safeguard some properties za wakubwa. That's why it was easy to vote for Sakaja, and of course it was also as a result of Azimio stopping Team Wanyonyi. So it is clear Rigathi Gachagua cannot blackmail or intimidate Sakaja on the ground that he mobilized the gamer community to vote for him in this election. That will be a big lie. The truth is that everyone voted for Sakaja. Another truth is that most of the gamer community were voting for their person. The vote you see Polycarp Igathe managed to get in Nairobi, 80% of those votes, it was gamer votes, because again, our politics is local, number one. Number two, the gamer community were voting for Polycarp Igathe because they could easily identify themselves with the Polycarp Igathe. That's a man they knew they can easily reach out to him in case of anything, and of course his doors was going to open wider for them. So you cannot run away from this, you cannot change it, you cannot lie, and you cannot blackmail anyone that you mobilize number for Sakaja in Nairobi from Gema. So this one, I think we have rested that case. Again, the youth in Nairobi, they are coming out with a new claim, allegation that the fight the fight that Rigathi Gachagua is launching on Sakaja, it is not necessarily a fight on Sakaja. This is a fight on Musalia Mudavadi. To some extent, that is true. Why? Because between Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi. All of these two people, if you look at them, their focus is on 2032. Musalia Mudavadi still has ambition. After trying in 2013, he will be trying in 2032. Because he understands in 2027, Ruto will be seeking for his re-election. And going against Ruto, he might just not make any influence. So he has to support him and then try 2032. Again, he's believing that in 2032, maybe Raila Odinga will not be on ballot. And because of that, mambo inaweza kabadilika tu na waves ianze kwenda side yake. That's why Mudavadi will focus more on 2032. If there is anywhere he can bet his resources for campaign, it can be 2032. Again, Gachagua is focusing to take over the leadership of Mount Kenya region, and 2032 is a place where he's putting his bet. And seemingly, he's starting this much earlier to stop Musalia Mudavadi, because he understands once Mudavadi has someone like Sakaja in Nairobi, this is a man who will have some influence here and there. And that means controlling Nairobi. To that extent, having such a person leading your campaign, of course, it can change the matrix. That's why he has to fight Sakaja. But then the person is fighting is Musalia Mudavadi. Another thing is that the influence around William Samoei Ruto. Seemingly, Ruto has respect for Musalia as of now, because he might need him more. He's a well-balanced man, a man who can tell you when you are wrong, a man who can give you a proper advice. And again, he don't have that much ambitions to outdo his boss. But for Gachagua, seemingly, he's a man who is like in fight with William Ruto. He's a kind of William Ruto when he was working with Uhuru Kenyatta. That is not making Ruto comfortable with Rigathi Gachagua. So Mudavadi is more likable compared to Gachagua. Gachagua is only there because of the numbers that he might use him to get from Mount Kenya. Another truth is that besides Rigathi Gachagua, William Ruto can use any other person to get vote from Mount Kenya. Another will destroy too and bring another person, even Ndindi Nyoro, or any other individual, and they will have it. So Gachagua is trying to kind of show a protection towards the gamer, so that he will be seen as the leader of the community, a man who's fighting for them and a man who's there to defend them, to command and control numbers. But the truth is that, as we said, the socio-political leadership is not favoring Gachagua. Most of the leaders in the Mount Kenya region view Gachagua as a man who is a kind of a dictator. They're not comfortable rallying behind him. That's another problem he has. So, up to there, you can again see that Sakaja is being fought because of coming out as a leader who is embracing who is cutting a national figure. He has been able to have Aluya, Kikuyu, Luo, kama ni Mukisi, kama ni Mukamba, at least somewhere, even if it's not on those top positions. So everyone is feeling being part of Nairobi because of the kind of leadership Sakaja has tried to bring there. And that's why it is attracting a fight. We would like to encourage Sakaja to keep it up and ignore the tribal leader from the gamer community.